The consequences is the child support, bruh. You met two of the right ones. Baby, it's just sure luck that he been running around here dealing with women that accepted what he wanted to pay them. You can't just keep not pulling out. Oh, my life, be waiting for you. No, how you do. This little one can't stay away, baby. Well, hello there, love bugs. Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and tip your favorite narrator via Cash App at $NayRob on YouTube. And if you are not already a part of this book club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. And for a small monthly fee, you babies, yes you, can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, let's continue reading Brother Ray. Okay. Those of you who are paying members, I implore you, please go to the community wall and or the Patreon so that we can figure out what we're going to do next. I met the mother of one of the Raylettes when I had to get her permission to have the girl join the band. This was when I was in New York so often that I even had an apartment at the Beau Arts Hotel over on 3rd Avenue. From 59 through 63, all my business was in New York. My publishing firm, my lawyers, my booking agent, my accountant, most of the studios where I recorded, and ABC itself. Well, this woman and I hit it off right away. I dug her so hard, I rented us an apartment on 97th Street and Central Park West. For me, that was a big commitment. Shows you how much I was into her. Don't forget, in the movie, that one, I forget the name of the one who was in the back of the car, Lulu, the snoring baby, and who was in the back of the car when Clifton Powell's character was in the front, Jeff. And she was like, let's buy us an apartment out here in New York. Baby, you been. Not unless he kind of combined those characters, because it ain't like movies ain't never done that before. Remember, she was trying to get him to buy an apartment for them both in New York. And Ray Charles was like, baby, you just stay back here in New York and I'll get things ready for us. Child, ready for Margie to come in. Our relationship went on for some time. I couldn't live in New York. I've never wanted to live there, but I was there for long spells. New York always seemed like an experiment some scientists dreamed up. Instead of rats, you crowd as many people together as you can. Let them crawl over each other and live with their asses sticking in each other's faces. Well, there are rats, okay? I would suppose the rats of 2025 would have great grand rats that lived in the early 60s. You do that for a while and watch the results. Wholesale craziness. Anyway, my lady friend became pregnant in New York, and once again, I didn't protest or encourage her to do anything but have the child. She did. She had a girl, and I was prepared to do what I had always done, support the baby. But my lady friend was listening to other folks. Friends started whispering in her ear, what with all his bread? Well, listen here, if I was you, that kind of chatter. She also talked to a lawyer, something which caused even more discord. Finally, she demanded more bread. Demanded. Well, I resent demands, especially when I think they're unreasonable, so I refused. She filed suit. It was later transferred to Los Angeles, and I lost. Again, I wasn't denying that I was the father. I was just denying that I was Bank of America. Yeah, that's the rich man's bank. Listen, I wonder if it was more so the fact that he couldn't control the woman or the baby mother telling her, oh, this is enough money. Or was it you was just mad because this woman realized that she could get more money? Why the fuck should my baby have to live in the projects? Why? I don't understand that. Just because all your other baby mothers live in the projects don't mean I want to. No. I want my baby to be able to have A, B, C, and D. Now, if she's just doing it so she can have lavish things, then yeah, woman, you part of the problem. But if you're just doing it to take care of the child or make sure your child lives at a level that you see fit, I don't find that to be a problem. But, Ray Charles liked to control his bitches and his baby mammies. Exactly the same thing happened with a lady I had met in Ohio who later came out to LA to work. She and I were very close for a while. She wound up pregnant. She had a little girl who looked just like me, and she demanded far more bread than I was willing to pay. Another paternity suit, another trial, another loss for me. By this time, you can see I wasn't exactly knocking him down in the courts. Okay, pause, let's do this. Part of the reason why reckless people act the way they act is because there are no consequences. The consequences is the child support, bruh. You met two of the right ones, baby. It's just sure luck that he been running around here dealing with women that accepted what he wanted to pay them. You can't just keep not pulling out with these women and expecting these women to not react. No, you deliberately laid on top of me, and don't be like, nay, she stayed there, she did and did. Okay? But if I was a rich, wealthy man musician, baby, I would bring my own condoms. Matter of fact, I would get a vasectomy. That's what I would do. Did they do vasectomies then? But I'm not finna keep spreading my love juice to all these women, and it's a 50-50 chance that one is going to let me pay her what I want to pay, and the other one is going to wear my ass out in court. These are the consequences that these men need. You hear me? Just like these athletes. Okay, once you stop playing, how you going to pay this child support? You see, what's his name? And I love Cam Newton. That's my baby. Once you stop playing ball, your ass is broke. Cam Newton is like, I'm broke. I can't afford to pay all these kids. And this nigga's like, I want to have 13 more children. How you going to pay the child support, brother? The next one, you better marry her. Shit. So then that way you don't have to pay the girl child support. Y'all could just sit there in the dark by yourself. It's consequences to sleeping with all these different women, bruh. And he got it. But that's not the point. I believe in doing what's fair and right. And it's very hard to threaten me. Even all the publicity and the embarrassment to my wife didn't make me budge. I considered those kinds of threats. You gonna be exposed, Ray Charles, blackmail, and I can't be blackmailed. The disregard you have for your wife and children. Now, I don't believe in comparing women, and I don't believe in comparing my children. Every relationship is different. Naturally, I grew closer to the sons I had with B because I was there more and got to watch their little joys and sorrows. I was also close with Evelyn, and that's because Louise and I were so tight. And besides, Evelyn was my first. She came out of some very strong love between two people. Louise and I had the kind of thing that you don't outlive. So, okay, so yeah, I could believe that. But just because you made the child out of lust don't mean that she's supposed to, or the children's supposed to get less attention or give them what you feel like giving them. Child, he couldn't be my baby father because I would wear that ass out. And one thing my parents made sure that I knew was that I was a child created out of love. I said, Mama, you was 15 years old or 14 years old when you got pregnant. How the hell you know what love is? She said, I knew at the time that I loved your father and your father loved me. And that has been something that neither parent has ever denied. My mother is long gone, but she will not take away from the fact that she loved my dad. Same thing with my dad, that I might have done some dumb things with your mom, but I totally loved your mom. This dumbass. Both my parents was nuts. Naturally, many of my children are now under the jurisdiction of other men, and there's nothing I can do about that. I'm not about to break down doors and pry into other families' lives just because my kids are there. And I don't really want to get involved with their mothers any more than absolutely necessary. See, just this girl. So now he's talking about loosening up with women. When y'all say he be talking about his escapades, now he talking about doing all kinds of, pornography stuff. Talking about white women, threesomes. It basically is a book about womanizing. I've never seen the difference I hear cats talk about in white women or black women, European women or Oriental women. We know Oriental women is not what you could say. You say Asian. I'm a curious soul and I've wanted to experience as much as possible. I like the different feels, the different textures of the hair. I've had girlfriends in Japan and love affairs with ladies in Europe. They don't last for too long because of the distance. But I've had a taste of love in every different tongue. Nasty bastard. I was busy trying to take care of business in the early 60s. I became more attentive to my financial situation and I started figuring ways to run an efficient organization. I thought long range. That's why I left the ABC royalties alone and just lived off the money I was making on the road. I was looking for security. In 1961, B had our third boy, Bobby, and I wanted to make sure that all my kids didn't have to face the same starvation shiz that I had seen. I wasn't going to blow my bread on anything stupid. I think I read somewhere that at his death, his kids acquired, all of them, like a $500,000 like allotment or something. When you think about it, it's not a lot for now, but if you do it right, it can be a lot, or it can be enough at least to take care of your household. Like the main thing I always say in regards to living, as long as your overhead is taken care of, you'll be just fine. Okay? And that's why I recommend people to buy homes. Okay? Because you can buy a home and hurry up and pay it off in 20 years. Okay? As long as you pay, I think it's like that extra, the extra mortgage payment per year for 20 years, or like a 2 payments extra per year for 20 years. Your retirement can be just fine. As long as you don't have to pay rent or overhead, you'll live okay. All right. So that's why I encourage people to buy homes, so you can hurry up and get it paid for, so that in your older age, you can take your entire Social Security and spend it on what you want to spend it on. Okay. Now, you may have to do some upgrades in your home, because if the bathroom on the top floor is now on the bottom floor, you might have to get some work done. But Overhead is always the main thing. So I started at the 500,000 apiece for the children and ended up talking about houses. But anyway, I'll move over. My indulgences, women and dope, cost me something, but nothing like the stories I've heard about other people. At the height, I might have been spending $20 a day for smack. Or if I spend $30 a day, that would be only on one of my hallelujah days. But believe me, they didn't come often. $20 a day is a lot. Okay? I don't know what he's talking about. $20 a day, that's lunch in 2025 a day. How much money is $20 worth in the early 60s? Child, somebody pull this nigga out the grave and smack him across his face. $20 in the 1960s is equivalent to $200 today. I don't know what he talking about, $20. That's why I know this nigga is delusional. Okay, talking about some $20 a day, $30 a day. That's a lot. That's why I said the only reason why he don't consider himself a junkie is because he ain't out there selling his blind butt for the junk. Okay, he can afford it. Shit. I had a decent car, but never more than one at a time. And later on, I'd even wind up owning such unspectacular vehicles as Chevy station wagons or Volkswagens. I had my airplanes, but they were for my day-to-day work. Even when I was in New York, I shied away from limousines and crap like that. That's because you want to spend all your extra money on dope. He acting like he better than somebody. Boy, what's 20 times 30 days? That's $600 a month. That's why you can afford dope. Because you would rather put your money in your arm than buy a new car, which is cool. I respect it. Or pay a child support that is worth something. Ray Charles, you ain't fooling nobody. I love your music. I don't have a problem with you, nigga. But I see ya. F that status. My friends were the same folks I had always known. Some were cab drivers, barbers, and salesmen. Sure, I met all the Hollywood stars. I was appearing on many of the national TV shows, but I didn't necessarily pile around with those people. After my second country album in 1962, I continued recording the standards.